Hello, welcome back to my channel. We're going to be doing another Pewdiepie reaction video. The last one I did wasn't too spectacular. Felix pretty much didn't really have a very entertaining video. My girlfriend actually got really bored watching it. So, she's not going to do this one with me, but I'm going to do it. This is his video entitled My Response, Season 2, Episode 1.
Oopsie doopsie, oopsie doopsie. I'm oopsie doopsie, and oopsie doopsie.
It's Poppy Harlow.
Whoop. Oh, let's sigh. Good evening, I'm Gloria Bolger. I wasn't planning to make another video about this, but then Vox went ahead and published not one, but 2 articles about PewDiePie. I'm so sick of this guy. Vox owns The Verge, which means that this is actually the 3rd video in a week that they post smearing him as an anti-Semite and now white supremacist. Wow, they must really like this guy. PewDiePie's ties to white supremacy spell serious trouble for the future of YouTube. Ignoring that incredible headline just for a moment, if you think, just for a second, they picked a photo where I'm blinking as the main photo for this article as a cheap attempt to make me look as bad as possible, then you're wrong, okay? This is actually how I record all my videos, and in case you're new to my channel, it's just the thing I do, okay? So not sure what happened here? Well, let's read some headlines to investigate, because that's the best way in the world to get your facts. PewDiePie promotes Nazi propaganda. YouTube star PewDiePie promotes channel with anti-Semitic content. PewDiePie gives shout out to hateful anti-Semitic YouTube channel. PewDiePie's ties to white supremacy spell serious trouble for the future of YouTube. Here's what I actually said in my shout out video.
ER, who does great video essays about, he did one on Death Note, which I really enjoyed.
So what actually happened? A quick rundown. I already explained it in another video, but I was getting so many subscribers that I thought it would be nice for me to shout out some smaller channels. It was at the end of the video and I shouted out 28 channels.
So maybe at this point it's probably for the best the 2 series beats him.
Many channels.
So everybody will leave him the hell alone.
Video in their past.
Because he's only really the main focus of the shit
because
he's
just to make sure that maybe they said something that doesn't align with myself. One of them featured Nazi imagery and jokes, and that's why I decided to remove him from the list and edited it out of the video. I think most people would be pretty sensible about a mistake like this, keeping all these things in mind. But oh no, that's not the case. It led to an absolute barrage on Twitter. I don't think I've gotten this much attention on Twitter since the Wall Street Journal thing. They must have really thought they had me this time. I don't know, people making it was insane claims about me, saying I shepherd legions of 14-year-olds to neo-Nazi content. It's an anime review. That's the main point of the video. Love that PewDiePie pretty much openly says I'm Nazi. If that's me openly saying I'm Nazi, it's a pretty goddamn cryptic way to put it. This developer from Ubisoft said, enough
I am
is
so
enough.
sick of social
Gaming
justice.
industry. I'm going to need you to end this dude. You know exactly who you are. Cut ties with him now. Don't worry, she's just spreading her positivity, guys. Please don't be mean. This is just spreading positivity. Now, she apparently removed that she's working for Ubisoft after this, so I don't know if she actually got fired or not. Bum 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 ba 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 ba. I responded in my first video saying that I didn't actually know these references, and basically, oh well, this was pretty dumb. I'll delete him from the recommendations. That's pretty much all I can do at this point. Thinking that would be it. But oh no. The number one argument that was I've seen this argument being thrown around constantly on Twitter and in media, and I'm just going to use Huffington Post as an example, but so many people have been using this argument against my defense, saying I actually didn't know. PewDiePie's excuse for promoting racist YouTube content includes more racist content, saying that, okay, maybe he didn't know about the 2-year-old videos and the videos on his other channel, saying that, well, the video that he recommended had jokes about Heather Heyer's death in it and making fun of an autistic black guy. We have him now, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. The video pointed to Heather Heyers. How could he? I don't know who this is. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I honestly, genuinely have no idea who this is. I know about the Charlottesville incident, and I know someone died there. And basically, the
Is that the chick that got hit by a car?
There was aerial footage of the moment when a car drove through the crowd of people during the white supremacist-led Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville last year. So this was the video that I recommended specifically. I get it. It sounds pretty bad. But let's just take a second to watch what that footage looked like.
That victim will die of a heart attack.
This is 37
so, for example,
minutes into
say you write the name of a woman and that she will die by being struck by a car. However, there's too much in the way for a car to hit her. Because the situation is impossible, and thus the cause of death as well, the woman would die of a heart attack. Deathflix didn't get far enough into reading the rules on the Wikia page.
Now, obviously, I blurred the footage, not because I don't want to show it, but specifically because I don't want to instantaneously transform 76 million people into Nazis, which is definitely what's going to happen if anyone sees that footage. Obviously, I didn't know about this footage. I think most people outside of the United States don't know about this footage. I tested it out on a couple people just to make sure.
I mean, it's like he's Swedish.
But that was the case.
For
No one
fuck's
knew
sake.
about this footage. And ER put it in
Lives in
there
the
as a
UK.
joke. It is
Because they have to know
extremely
everything that goes on in
inappropriate joke,
our
and I would
fucking
not have
country. I don't know
publicly
shit about their
recommended this
country.
video if I knew about it, but the hidden reference of it is
And I'm
the joke.
fucking Scottish.
That this really horrific footage, most people won't even recognize it, that's in there without most people recognizing it, is the joke. Secret Nazi jokes, everyone. They've been around for literally since the age of the internet. And even just showing this footage, pushing for that this is white supremacy, is the reach is still very far. This guy followed up with saying, "To the trolls." That's right, if you criticize someone, you're a troll! They're saying PewDiePie didn't know who Heather Heyer was. Last year, he tweeted about a photo of white nationalists marching with tiki torches saying this, "These guys clearly watch one too many PewDiePie vids." Now, I don't remember tweeting this at all, to be honest. What I did remember tweeting was this. I don't have a high-res photo because I have a bot that deletes all my tweets. It's a long story. Dear Nazis, stop looking so identical to me. You're really not helping my case. This image that Huffington Post used for the Charlottesville rally does look strangely a lot like me. That was all I joked about. This doesn't prove that I knew that aerial footage. It has nothing to do with it. The second argument was that in the description of the video, it had a racist, edgy joke in it. That's right, the description. How could I have been so stupid? The thing that everyone checks constantly. So these two facts is what most people have been using online as evidence against that. Oh, he knew what he was doing, okay? It's like, oh, well, he made Nazi jokes in the past, so obviously he's 100% guilty. It's like logic conveniently gets thrown out the window for the sake of lambasting me. And it's just, you're really just exposing yourself for having idiotic ideas and cannot look more than 2 seconds deeper into an issue. Does all of this really justify calling me a white supremacist by the Vox? When have I ever expressed myself in that way? Now, looking at the Vox article, because it's hilarious, they first of all, can't even get my name right. I get it, it's really hard. Writing is hard. It's not expected from journalists. Pewdiepie, Pewdiepie. Vox talked in this article about my alliance with the alt-right. This is something I've been accused of before and have said, no, that's not true. They mention the alt-right 29 times in this article. It's almost like they're obsessed with these things. So what are the evidence that ties me to the alt-right according to Vox? Well, get this, guys. I don't even know if I should bring this up because I don't know if I want to expose myself to this hard-hitting evidence and facts that they got me with. I reviewed Jordan Peterson's self-help book. First of all, Jordan Peterson is not alt-right. He's another figure that the media doesn't like, so they label him as alt-right as a way to discredit him. He's repeatedly disassociated himself with alt-right personalities.
God damn.
And second of all, reviewing a book doesn't mean anything. It's not proof of anything. It's literally a self-help book. It's the least controversial thing I've read in so long. The second argument that Vox had, or evidence that I have ties to the alt-right, is because I follow people on Twitter that they deem alt-right, such as Ben Shapiro and Lacey Green, among others. That's right, Lacey Green, alt-right hero, everyone. You remember that? Her sex educational videos? Deep diving Nazi imagery. You just gotta dig a little deeper. Very hidden references. Way more hidden than ERs. Lol, according to Vox, being followed by PewDiePie means you're alt-right. So what if I follow Vox? Does that mean Vox is alt-right? Oh. Can't wait to see your response to this, Vox. I basically have you in a corner now. So apparently the journalist of this article, of this reporter, thought to herself, you know what, this is, I wrote some garbage today. But you know
This
what?
is why I don't
Not
watch the news.
dumb enough. I need to make it
Jesus
even more
Christ.
stupid. So she went to Twitter and wrote, as an addendum to my 2 recent articles on the potential for serious extremist radicalization that PewDiePie and his 76 million followers represents on YouTube. Everyone who's watching this video, everyone that's subscribed to PewDiePie represents serious radicalization, extremist radicalization. Seems like a pretty fair description. I mean, the views of this reporter comes across pretty clear when it's not through the editorial framework. And she basically says that a kind reader pointed out this recording of a stream in which PewDiePie plays Pavlov with a player. And it's
Where the guy just runs by?
I don't know how to
I saw him
explain it.
talking
It's
about this
guy
on
with
Twitter.
a parody of a Jew image and Jew mocking name, basically. This person is so stupid, I honestly genuinely feel bad for her. Whether or not he knew, he apparently hangs out in gaming communities where it's possible to game with people using anti-Semitic slurs and avatars. It's a public video game, and I didn't even interact with this guy.
Yeah, there's
It's
lobbies.
like holding me accountable
There's
for going
servers.
outside and having the views with other people. I've even seen this clip 100 times. I didn't even notice the guy's name.
Been on the internet for a while.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, hey man, I really appreciate your content. You've gotten me through some tough times, and I respect the.
I didn't say anything.
And I think it's such a great example of me being painted as an anti-Semite and being painted as a Nazi when all I'm doing is playing video games, having fun. I didn't see this guy. I watched it 100 times. I never saw this guy. And even then, I have nothing. It doesn't prove anything. Maybe PewDiePie didn't realize this was an anti-Semitic handler, or he did, but didn't care enough to exit the game. I should have done the right thing, guys. I should have just exited the game immediately.
State of this
This
country,
whole thing
man.
is just a giant guilty by association. Reviewing a guy's book, how could he? Playing in a public video game, following someone on Twitter. Just because you interact with someone online doesn't mean you endorse all of their views. That's such an incredibly stupid thing to think. She even pointed out that the harassment I've gotten in response from PewDiePie supporters especially bears out all the points being made in the second article. Being criticized is not harassment. Finally, I wanted to take a look at the bigger picture here. You know, this controversy has more or less passed at this point, so what really were the effects? The main thing that I got criticized for this shout out was how incredibly irresponsible it was for me to recommend this channel. And in a way, I can understand at least that argument. But people saying that I was shepherding legions of 14-year-olds towards neo-Nazi content, and The Verge saying that 150,000 subscribers, which is just blatantly false. It was 15,000, some of whom may be extremely young, turning into anti-Semitic
So you don't
hateful
actually
content,
know.
pointing people to certain channels, especially
On the
ones
demographic
hateful
for Felix,
content,
most people are like
further
in their 20s and 30s
radicalize
that watch him.
young
So.
viewers on YouTube. That was the effect of this. Now, this is just blatantly not true. Even if you watch ER's videos, yes, they have very edgy jokes, and I'm not here to debate of anything about who he is, but the main point of his videos, at least you could argue, are not about these political issues. And I think that's why he went over my head to recommend this channel, because I'm just here for the sweet anime, okay? That's all I really care about. But regardless of that, 12,000 people subscribed after me recommending this channel. And then it was immediately dipping after that. You can see it here, it was going down. But then the media comes into the picture. They mention him in every single article I've seen. They bring up ER's channel. And there you go. He gets 14,000 subscribers. ER should really honestly just thank the media for giving him a bigger shout out than I did. I'm extremely irresponsible. You are aware of the damages that you are saying it's causing, but you're causing more damage. It's the basic Streisand effect of the more you try and cover something up, the bigger it gets. And they're not unaware of this. It's pretty obvious that they know how this works at this point, but people don't care. People just want to be outraged online. People just want to get clicks online, and it's the same thing with these articles. Finally, I wanted to end on notes about why I think Vox is going after me. And it's not me saying this is concrete evidence to why. you know, I definitely have made mistakes, and I deserve to be criticized when I mess up. But I think part of the reason why me especially is getting so much, I don't know what to call it, slander, it's because I have more influence than a lot of media outlets. That's not me flexing again, that's a fact. And they hate that. The Wall Street Journal posted earlier this year, I know Wall Street Journal, Vox Media on pace to miss revenue, target as digital advertising disappoints. The expected Vox Media shortfall is another sign that the digital media industry is struggling to adapt to the reality that online ad growth is becoming harder to come by, especially as tech firms such as Facebook, Google, and Amazon corner the market. One concern for Vox Media, much like other digital firms, is that revenue from sponsored content isn't growing as fast as it once did. Ever since the year 2000, newspaper advertising revenue in the USA has just completely plummeted. I mean, 50 years of progress has just completely went out the window. According to The Guardian, it's estimated that every dollar spent on advert in the Western world, 90% of that goes to Google and Facebook. 90%. Keeping that in mind, you have the biggest creator on YouTube. How can we make him and YouTube look bad at the same time? PewDiePie ties to white supremacy spells serious trouble for the future of YouTube. I don't mean to get into, oh, this is why. I obviously don't know. I think this headline makes a lot more sense keeping these things in mind. A lot of people point to my controversies as stunts, as something that I deliberately do to boost myself and my brand to get more subscribers. PewDiePie endorses controversial anti-Semitic views to gain subscribers. Stunt! Backfires big time. That's right, it was a stunt to recommend a channel.
It's went up by 2 million since he made
why?
that shut-up video.
Why has
Just
YouTube's biggest star not been cancelled yet? We cannot keep letting him get away with this. Why is no one stopping him? The reason why, despite all my controversies, that I'm still so popular is because fans know who I am. The people who actually know my videos and know me know that all these things that people say in the media just aren't true. And when I have made mistakes in the past, I've apologized and moved forward from it and moved on from it. My fans don't look at the world with the insane lens that everyone is an enemy that needs to be publicly destroyed. By running these articles about me, smearing my name and calling me white supremacist, calling me racist, you are watering down the definition of these words. By keep calling me all these things, these words will no longer carry the same meaning. And in a way, you are doing these people that are actually racist and anti-Semitic a favor. And I don't doubt that there are racists and anti-Semite in the world, but you're looking at the wrong places. And people know it. You are also hurting your own brand. And as a news outlet, you are just losing your credibility because people know this isn't true. And that's probably the #1 thing you'd care about protecting as a media outlet, is that what you're saying is actually true. What you're saying is actually unbiased. But you spell it out so clearly that that's not the case. Vox doesn't allow comments on their articles. Gee, I wonder why. If you go on Twitter and check the replies, the response is pretty unanimous. And that's even coming from people that are fans of Vox, saying, as a left-winger and fan of many Vox production, I become every time more disappointed with articles about PewDiePie's ties to the alt-right. It's just thin connections being extrapolated over and over again. This is just not me picking one. If you go through, it's the general consensus from these articles. The more the mainstream media talks about me, the more I just gain from it. And that's not me benefiting from controversies. That's because people know these are smear campaigns and people are tired of it. People can't stand these articles anymore. You can kick and scream, PewDiePie's Nazi all you want, but it's not going to change that fact. But I think most importantly, out of all this, the #1 thing that I want people to take out of this is subscribe to PewDiePie. That's right. PewDiePie now at 77 million subscribers. I'm gonna rate Vox Media a 0. I'm Gloria Bolger.
That should be the death of it.
And this is Gloria Bolger out.
I mean, he said it pretty well, so. Okay, so thoughts on it. He's right for the most part. You see, I used to, whenever I was a lot younger, I used to be really left-wing. I used to watch, and I'm going to get some bad shit on this one, but I used to watch the Young Turks. And I watched their little podcast thing they did, like every single day. I watched everything that they uploaded. I took it in, and I believed a lot of that. And it was about the time I was like 24. I started thinking like, you guys are jackasses. So it's been about 10 years I've been watching those assholes, and it's just like the thing with the left is if anybody disagrees with them or whatever, they're just instantly a Nazi. If you do something that they don't like, you're a Nazi. And it's like, as Felix says, it just waters it down. You're not really, the word has no meaning at that point. It's like saying, you could, okay, like a bowl of macaroni, you just start calling it ramen noodles. I mean, it's not fucking ramen noodles, but I don't know, man. It's like 1 in the morning out here in Whittier. I'm tired. I've been up since 8 this morning. I went to Disneyland all day. Had fun. So on that note, I'm going to end this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you kept up with it this long, if you'd like to, please subscribe, and I'll be doing another PewDiePie video tomorrow. Thank you.